Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
So, based on video evidence at Wilmer Hutchins High School, at 12:56 p.m., the shooter arrives at the Wilmer Hutchins High School parking lot and parks his vehicle on the north side of the school. At 12:58 p.m., the shooter exits his vehicle and walks around to the west side of the school and approaches a side door or back door, which was locked and it was secure. At 1:01 p.m., another student opens that locked door on the west side of the building, and the student enters, or I should say the shooter. The shooter is observed walking down the hallway towards the cafeteria, and that's at 1:02. At the same time, at 1:02 p.m., the shooter opens fire and wounds 4 students, and the other students that were in that hallway scramble away from the shooter. At 1:03 p.m., the shooter is fleeing and exiting out the same door, and then he runs back to the vehicle that he had in the parking lot at the north side of the school, enters that vehicle, and leaves the campus. And through that timeline from the point of entry into the school to the time he exits is less than 2 minutes.
I love all my peoples, man. Told me he was gonna kill me. All these told me they was gonna kill me. Look what happened. I love my Sandra. I love the behind this camera. I love Yana. I love my nieces and nephews. All of them. I want everybody to know I love them. People named that I didn't name, trust me, I love you. I can't think right now, but I love y'all. This is my last time around be seeing y'all. Last time talking to y'all, excuse my language, but I love y'all. I know I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I'll be damned if one of us get buried again. I'm tired of us getting buried and nobody doing anything about it. My mama gone, my granny gone, everybody gone that I love. So I can't go. I can't go. I'd rather y'all see me like this, locked up, than y'all see me dead in the ground. And I know that's really what y'all, come on now. I know y'all don't want to see me dead. Come on now. Cause myself, but I know that's not what y'all want me to do. So let's be for real, y'all. I love y'all.
Wow, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Man, I was just listening to that little Tracy, man, 17 years old. Man, Tracy Haynes Jr. It's a trip, man, because, you know, you got to think about it. Nobody's talking to these young people, man. And I heard the police, they timed it 2 minutes in and out, you know, all behind. He felt like he had to do it because he felt like they had threatened him and he was going to kill them or they was going to kill him. And they let it get this far. And that's what alarms me is the fact of how we have to, as parents, we have to try to talk to. I got a 17-year-old son, so that kind of hit me a little different because it's like, man, I always tell my son every day, like, man, let's pray, let's talk. And a lot of times they don't open up to you because you're their parents. But man, you know, you see the passion. He say he lost his mama gone, his granny gone, you know. And he started talking about a lot of people gone. He loved everybody, man. But I have felt like I got to do this so that I don't be gone, is what he said. And we're not losing nobody else. Now, was somebody actually going to get lost? Who knows? He felt like they threatened him. These are all kids. They didn't probably know that he was going to come back like this, for sure. So what I'm talking about is the Wilmer Hutchins, the school that got shot up just a few days ago. Well, you know, a day or so ago. And this boy, you know, felt like he didn't have no out, didn't have no way to go, nowhere to turn. Tracy, he does a live when he leaves there. Somebody holding the camera, he say he love him too. He say, yeah, you right. You know, so there's other people that's involved in this, that's helping him to convey, to go here, to go there during this thing, letting him in the back side door. But man, nobody is there speaking to these kids. That you know, the guy TK, the one that got the 83 years, the 80 years the other day, had 50 some odd years when he went into trial, and he was 24. But he did the same thing that this kid is doing. He grabbed a gun and took that matters into his own hands as a young man at the age of 16. And my thing is to always come up and have a logical conversation on what could we do? What could we do to operate in a way to where we can see some of these things coming and maneuver them in a way to where they don't happen that way. If it's somebody that you feel like lost their father, and I have a lot of people that I do this with, step in the gap. Try to find a way to say something to them, bro. Even though they look different, they got their pants sagging a lot of times. They own the video games a lot of times. But at the end of the day, they still our children. You know, it's unfortunate that he felt that way. He didn't have nobody to turn to that was sensible enough to understand how to either take him out of the situation or either meet the situation head on. The words say, what man see one man coming, you have an army of 10,000 and you see one coming that will have a army of 25,000 and y'all about to go to battle. Why not send a messenger up ahead? Somebody to go and say, hey man, let's try to make amends when you got just 10,000. Because you know you're running an uphill battle where you're not going to be able to win that battle. So what am I saying? I'm saying, man, Tracy, you know, these kids that I'm seeing on the news that look like my son, and man, it's a conversation, man. We got to have a conversation with these kids. If you see somebody that lost their mom, lost their father not in their life, I seen a bunch of dudes that was doing stuff like, from Deion Sanders, even Steve Harvey, you know, people talk about these guys a lot of times in the limelight, but Snoop Dogg, different people have stepped up. Local people like my boy Quan, I seen him. I used to be like, man, why is he putting in all that time with them kids? Somebody got to put in time with these kids, bro. Somebody got to put in time with these kids, because if we're not, then you're going to see them running down these roads like a TK. Or like a Tracy. This guy, like I said, he's a kid, bro. You know, when you start looking at 17, 16-year-olds, man, and you go back when you're my age and you know how undeveloped your mind is after you get to where I'm at. Because you're like, man, when I was 25, I was having issues trying to understand how to maneuver through life and understand how to deal with the trials and the test of time that falls before us. So that messed me up when I seen these kids, they's on live. I mean, but is it something he did for clout? Did he do it? Because afterwards he went straight to the live. Lil Tracy went straight to the live and started popping it. I love you this, I love you that. You know, but when they were down there turning themselves in with OGU, he's shaking everybody's hand saying, hey man, how you doing? How you doing? And just trying to understand how to make it through. So what am I saying? All I'm saying is, if you see somebody young, man, in your presence and you got something to say it to them, man, because you might help them. I know a lot of times you think they got a stick, they might use it on you. But a lot of times they won't. If you really talk to them, a lot of these kids will talk back. I know from experience. I know because I'll sit down with one or I'll approach him, as odd as it may be, and say, hey, man, what's going on with you? What's up with you, man? Hey, man, what you got going on? Because man, Tracy, I don't think he felt like he had nobody he could talk to that was sensible. I don't think so. Because if he did, he wouldn't have been in that situation. But man, 3 people shot. I think 2 done got out of the hospital. 2 still in the hospital. I think 3 was shot and only one was injured. I don't know how they was injured, probably trying to run. A lot of people saying he stood over one. But it was 2 minutes, and he did a lot of damage in 2 minutes. And it could have been more. A lot of times we don't thank God. It could have been more kids. People who had kids in that school was very concerned. They couldn't get to them. And it was a reason, because as you're outside, everybody scattering and running, and they telling you this is a shooter, a live shooter, and you trying to figure out how is your baby all right. And I'm just saying, man, when you get up in age and you know you done made it through, man, reach back out to them youngsters, man, because you got to have a conversation with them before it gets to that point. These kids they thinking they got to deal with this stuff on their own, because nobody's talking to them. Man, like I said, I just want to speak on it again, because this kid right here just touched my heart, because I know he jumped on the live, but he's so young. But he tell you he lost his mama and his grandma. He having a hard time trying to understand how to maneuver through life. Now he got to go sit down, probably do some time. He was willing to do that because he felt like those other guys was going to kill him, is what he's saying on this live. But man, I wish it had never got to this. Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about these young kids that's going off, shooting and killing one another, man. What do you guys think about that, man? And how can we do better? How can we help these kids? Boss Talk 101 review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.